GM, 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 GM. So, today is Monday, the 4th of March, and we're looking at the Bitcoin weekly chart. So, starting off the week with a quick dip off the open, now pumping again into another green week. Obviously, whether it closes that way remains to be seen, but seems as if Bitcoin can make a run to all time high. And outside of that, altcoins been going crazy as well, mostly on the meme side. Total three, talked about it in Weekly Outlook yesterday, that if it closes strong, that's a continuation sign. So the market's heating up, it's overheated, but we are most likely in for a few weeks of uninterrupted upside. I think if you hold any coins, well, not any coins, maybe something that's in like a crazy blow off top at the moment is going to stop, but pretty much anything you hold right now will be higher in a few weeks' time or over the next few weeks. That's just the best estimates you could make, the best guess. And it's because the market is now in a phase where it's going to reprice. So I talked about this a bunch. Everyone wants to buy up all the coins they can down here. And now we're in this recovery phase, which I've talked about for months, where we're in between the 2021 lows and the 2022 open. So all of the bull market was conducted within this, within these three red lines, and then we blow off top at the end, overextended. But 2022's open, so over here, when 2022's yearly candle or yearly chart opened, that to me signifies an entire bear market, right? The market was pretty much bullish. It was bullish until November, but parts of it stayed bullish till December. But no doubting, 2022 was a like a bearish year, bear market, right? So down it came, crashed all the way down, and now we're stuck, or not stuck, sorry, we're in this kind of middle phase. And the market itself is going to look at this and say, well, now that we've broken multiple key levels, so broke out of the bottoming range, consolidated for a few weeks, broke out of that, and with an impulse, massive volume across the market, massive participation, people are back, the market's bullish, funding rates are high, it's risk on, right? That to me would say we're in a bull, and if we're in a bull, why are we not back at 2022 levels, right? If there was any confirmation needed by the market, we've gotten it. Right, we didn't need confirmation. We've been saying it's a bull market for ages, but a lot of people were still like, "Is it really? Is it a bull market? Not sure. I'll wait a bit. I'll wait till I feel a little bit more safe." There's no doubt now. The starting pistol has been fired, and to me, that means we go here. And you can like, I wouldn't be surprised if we just do what we've done in the past when there's runaway momentum and just 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks all the way up there, and then price stops. And then it has a bit of a correction or sideways or whatever. I think if this market's going to be going higher, right? So if the total cap or total three is going to go to new highs, you want to see it consolidate in areas where it hasn't consolidated before. To me, that would be like something like this green box. If it was actually able to mark up, right? So say we got this blow off top to 900, and then we crashed all the way back to 680, but then we ran up and we sort of consolidated sideways there. That would be how I could see it going to new highs, right? It would have to build some kind of a cause at a higher price. What we did through the last bear market of 2018, 19, and into 2020 was we had the blow off top in 2018, but that was just, as you see, straight up, straight down. And then everyone thought it was dead. And then we came back, and then COVID money printing. And when it started going, it marked up to an entirely new level, which we are now within. Right? So this is our new range, if you will. Right? Just like we had from here to here. But the thing, like the big difference, is that price didn't spend much time in this area. People thought that everything above that, people thought everything above the blue line was a blow off top, right? And that here's where alts should really be. That's the fair value of alts. Then suddenly, boom, away they go. So people think that this was all just craziness, money printing, you know, fucking retards aping shit coins and NFTs and meme coins and blah blah blah. So that's like the part where the market thinks was silly. The market said all this was silly. In May, the market was like, oh, all coins should never have went that high. You're an idiot. Then they went higher. So there's no disputing that the altcoin market cap as a whole can trade within this 400 to 900 billion level. I don't think the market really stops to question itself now until we hit 900 billion. You can also look at this chart and remove, if you want, you can remove stables. I know some people do this. Doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't make a massive difference because I don't care whether it's USDT. Sorry, it's the wrong way around. USDT. I don't care whether it's 900. The actual number doesn't matter, rather more than the chart itself. But anyway, here's the other way of looking at it, and you can see it that whatever, basically everything above this level was retarded. So if you take out, where's the 2022 open? Yeah, over here. 2022 open was, there we go. That was December, and there it is. So same thing. Still moves up, still takes above March's highs and up into that level. And they still say that everything above here shouldn't have happened. So I just see it as far more likely, given that we've moved up, consolidated, and are moving up. I give it a far higher probability that we go to this side before we go to that side. So going here is more likely than going here. Then when we get here, assuming we get there, that's when I think we can see a pullback to even there, right before, as I said, the move higher. Maybe not. Maybe it just fucking keeps ripping straight higher, and this is like the hyper bull scenario. And I'm going to go back to total three because I just prefer total three. But you can see that there's fucking practically no difference. Uh, you know, then you've got the hyper bull scenario where it's all actually going so much higher that we just blast straight through. I mean, if so, great. my altcoins will love it. Altcoin longs and trades on top will be amazing. But let's take things one step at a time, yeah? I wouldn't be getting too far ahead. 2022 open is where I have my eyes set. I think last week's breakout candle was a sign that we're going there. Typically, when you have these breakaway candles that impulse significantly higher and close near the highs, you don't fill this gap in. You can come back and fill that gap in later, for sure. But typically, that's a sign of, runaway momentum. As you can see here, there's several of them. This one bumped away and never came back. And here's the other thing. If alts are going higher, and this is where you kind of have to go into the future a little bit. Let's say Bitcoin's going to 150K, which would be 3 trillion. That would take the total market cap above 5 trillion. Yeah, because currently the total cap is 2.36 trillion. If Bitcoin goes to 150K this cycle, just Bitcoin alone, that would add another 1.7, which would put it to 4. That's not including Ethereum growing or alts. So just Bitcoin going to 150K this cycle, if it happened, would take us to 4 trillion on this chart. Alts would obviously grow as well, as would Ethereum. And that's where you could easily see another trillion added across alts. Probably even more, but semi-conservative if that happened. You would see Bitcoin having a 3 trillion and altcoins having 2 trillion, of which Ethereum would probably be 6, 7, 800 billion of it. And so you'd have about 1.3, 1.4 trillion of total three, which would be up here. And that's like, again, just very rough numbers. It probably would be higher. It almost certainly would be higher in a blow off top, but then it would come back and settle at those levels. The point I'm trying to make is, if you're looking at that from the perspective of, is the altcoin market as a whole going to grow and then remain bigger because crypto is now a more accepted asset class? I think yes. So a lot of that depends on BTC, and that's where we're looking at. The main thing I want to watch is Bitcoin, which is absolutely tearing here. If I go to the low time frame charts, these are what you want to watch out for. We've already had one, overnight off the open. This is what you're going to see. This is going to be the most common thing you see in the next few weeks, in my opinion. I don't think, and this again is just probabilities, I don't think we see a 30% big crash that stays down until Bitcoin hits probably all-time high, which, it might even hit all-time high today. We don't know. But the shakeouts are going to be brutal, but they're going to be fast. And they're going to be like whatever altcoin you're looking at, you're going to see rapid, like, where's the, which one had a shakeout this morning? Doge? Yeah, you're just going to see stuff like this, right? Off the open, 8% dump, but that was in a single 5-minute candle, 7% of it, right? It's just fast, takes out all leverage, comes back to a previous low time frame support level. Look at that, perfect. Fills in a gap, sweeps out some stops that were resting there, and just away it goes. Now, it's not saying that every single time that happens is you can just buy the dip, but you do want to be watching generally something like your 1 hour trends, because that's where those wicks tend to go into, a 1 hour trend band or a 4 hour trend band, right? And BTC itself did the same thing overnight, right? This took out the highs, took out the lows. And here's a good way to view it on BTC, or sorry, on any coin, is each time it makes a new high, right, like it did over here. Every time it makes a new high, you want to be watching out. Because when it makes a new high, that's when you have breakout traders. And that's when you have, I think this made a new high on some of the exchanges. But every time it touches new highs, that's when you want to be watching for potential flush back. Like you see it on Bonk,